back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25.
So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Apparently this defense has come to play. A sack and a run stuff behind the line on the first 2 plays.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession. The catches for him just keep piling up in his career. He's now at 1,024, and that ties Isaac Bruce, the number that he had back in the day.
Yeah, part of the greatest show on turf. And remember, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt combined for nearly 2,000 catches in their careers. He might get to 2,000 himself with the numbers he's posting up there. Keep himself in great shape. He might go for it.
A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he is going to have the Chiefs first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Running on first down, Eckler knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down. Well, these two teams met in Kansas City earlier this season with the Chiefs winning that ball game. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got it to Williams.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything.
He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Brandon Ayuk,
64 yards.
and the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll make the score 14-0. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They started on the ground with Eckler.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's airing it out for Williams. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tressway on to punt the football. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away.
Hardman on the return.
It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes.
Throw left side, complete to Tony. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. To throw, it's Mahomes.
He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
40 yards on the ground for him so far.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
The Charger offense making their way back out there.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Here we go on 2nd and 12.
And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. They find some open field here. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll be out of bounds. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Chiefs continue to pull away here in this first half. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the route is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Mahomes.
They'll find Ayuk open right side.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. Caught, Kelsey, left side.
And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
He'll try to run this one in.
And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Butker now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Chargers offense back onto the field.
It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, for incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
Here's Hardman to return.
And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Mahomes going to throw.
Catch is made by Hardman.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Mahomes on the move to his left. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They'll roll him out right. He's going to fire one, corner the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Brandon Ayuk
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Back to throw now on 1st down. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll look to throw here. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Chris Jones in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both 1st and 2nd down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now Brandon Ayuk ready to bring out the rest of this offense here for this upcoming series.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 straight runs of 5 yards. 1st and 10. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by Khalil Mack.
And the Chargers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Now the ball comes loose, and I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Mahomes. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. He's got room at the 30, and he will go out of bounds down at the 15-yard line. A big play there for KC, 45 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And he's got it. Touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was Brandon Ayuk capping it off with a touchdown reception. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. L.A. set to take over again on offense.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
This pass finds its way to Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Now back to throw.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And, look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll set up to throw.
That's into the hands of Eckler. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Nick Bolton.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Igbenogany elects not to return it. The football will come out to the 25-yard line. Now, Brandon Ayuk ready to bring out the rest of this offense here for this upcoming series.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
105 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Mahomes now to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one's high, but not very far. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. They'll try and start this drive in the air. High throw, but he makes the catch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the Chiefs are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
So out come the Chargers.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
Draw play, it's Eckler.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Second and 6. He'll get this to Eckler. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Back to throw here. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Here's Tressway now as he's on for the 5th time here today. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Mahomes going to throw it here. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball.